Hello, everyone. My name is Sarafi, and I'm happy to meet you all. And today we're going to talk about skill design. Now, before I get started, obviously, I need to preface this by saying that I am not the typical person you would turn to for game balance. I do talk about ban lists whenever they come out. I review skill changes and that sort of thing. But I don't play in tournaments because I don't particularly enjoy the tournament format as opposed to the ladder format, and I also think FTKs are a good thing, which a lot of people disagree with. So take my opinion with a grain of salt. But I think that we have a genuine problem this time in Duel Links. Um, so let's take a look at the current list of top decks on Duel Links meta, and you can see that up here at the top we have Resonators with 56 wins, and then 56 decks submitted, and Heroes with 42. So, as a reminder, Hero was literally a free deck given to everyone. The majority of people who are still playing Heroes, I think, are people who just don't play Ranked. Like, they didn't have a reason to play Ranked, they just enjoy Heroes, they got a new deck, they think, oh, this deck is fun, this skill is fun, I'm winning for the first time. So I do think that when Konami gives like a free deck out to people, a lot of the people who play that deck beyond the first month are people who genuinely were not in the ranked meta before, which is why they do it. I think that they do that because it brings people into PvP that weren't there before because they just didn't have a viable PvP deck, which I think is good, by the way. But the fact that Resonators is surpassing that is very surprising. This is a main box, and it's a box that you would have to go through 3 times, to be honest, to get a good Resonator deck. It's arguable that you could do it with 2, but you would definitely need to do at least 2. So that's 56 people who, in the span of 6 days, or not 6 days, at this point it's 2 weeks, in the span of 2 weeks decided that they were going to spend, 18,000 gems on a deck and play it. And do well with it, and these people did well with it. They submitted it. They took the time to join the Duel Links meta Discord, submit their lists, and got approved. So that is a lot of people. 56 is a lot of people for a single deck, and I mean, again, Hero is like it's a popular deck, and B, it's a deck that it was free. If you ignore Hero because Hero is an outlier, you look at Predaplants. Predaplants has been in the game longer, and it has half as many players as Resonators. So Resonators is at 56, Predaplants is at 29. The Tier 1 deck, Salamangreat, is at 20. Subterrors, which is in the same box, is 23. So a lot of people, there's going to be overlap. A lot of people who went in the box to get Subterrors are also going to be the people who went in the box to play Resonators. I don't know if there's a rule where you can't submit more than one deck on this website, but I assume that if I look at these two lists, there will be a little bit of overlap. So my point is that a lot of people are playing Resonators in the moment, and the people who were coping about the other skill that sets Red Rain being the better skill are absolutely blown out. Like, we look at the top 3 pages, 4 pages, 5. someone posted a King of Games list where they weren't using a skill at all. Okay, fair enough. Yes, so the first 5 pages is Witness Why I'm Known as a True King with 1 troll, and then 2 people playing Roaring Soul. So absolutely not. It is not. The cards are really good. I'm not saying the cards are not good. The cards are fantastic. But the skill is definitely what's driving the success of the deck. So let's take a look at this. First place, we got 3 copies of Soul Resonator, Archphoenix Centric, 3 Effect Veilers, Skullmeister, triple Crimson, 1 red, double Bone Archfiend, 2 Vision, 1 Synchron, 1 Tuning Gum. So this is a deck with literally 3 non-tuners in it. A synchro deck with literally 3 non-tuners in it. That is cancer. Maybe that's a very aggressive way to put it. But is this 30 cards? It is 30 cards. In 30 cards, you have 3 non-tuners and your extra deck is entirely synchro monsters, and you see success, you get first place. That is absurd. Now, I do think that, it's very obvious that Resonators have a 1-card combo where if you play Resonator's Call or Crimson Gaia, you're going to end up with Soul Resonator into Bone Archfiend, mill the Crimson, go into everything, and you'll end up with your full board and your traps and everything else. I get that. But, if that's the case, where they have a very powerful engine and they also have a very powerful boss monster, then their skill is less necessary. I'll go ahead and I'll say that. I think that if you are giving a deck a 1-card combo and you are increasing the consistency of that deck from the main game by cutting the deck size in half, then it doesn't necessarily need a powerful skill. And even if we ignore the fact that Resonator cards are good, the skill is still too good, I would say, for even a bad deck. And why would I say that? Well, for those of you that don't know how the skill works, there's 2 things that it does. Witness why I am known as a true king. You can only use the skill's 2nd and 3rd effects once per duel. You cannot normal or special summon any monsters except synchro monsters and level 5 or lower dragon and fiend monsters. Send 1 card from your hand and 1 card you control to the graveyard, then play 1 level 8 red dragon archfiend monster from your extra deck in face down defense position. Its battle position can be changed. If you control red Nova Dragon or only your opponent controls a monster, set 1 Fiendish Chain from your hand or deck. This card can be activated the same turn. Okay, there are a couple of things to note here. So, the restriction is good. I have no problems with the restriction. The restriction is perfectly fine. I think Red Warg is level 6. Yeah, Red Warg is level 6, so it's unfortunate that you can't play Red Warg, but other than that, it makes sense that they would try and restrict the deck a little bit, because the last type of deck restricted you to summoning from the hand, and people played Mech Knights, and that was dumb. So, this is fine. There's 2 things that I think are the big outliers here. The first and the most important, I think that setting Fiendish Chain is very, very powerful. So there are in my opinion, there are a few things that need to happen in this skill. I do think this skill has to get nerfed. I don't think that nerfing the cards is going to do anything. So no matter what your deck is, especially since it's a good deck, but no matter what your deck is, gaining the ability to, when you go second, just turn off one of your opponent's monsters for no cost is too good. That is too powerful of an effect. It is absurd. So, it's just too strong. The ability to stop your opponent's interaction just because you're going second. If that was a thing in the real game, everyone would do it. No matter what, like if there were skills in the real game, and everyone had the ability to start of turn, like put imperm in your hand, but only if you go second, everyone would play that skill when they went second. And I understand that you can't choose to go second in Duel Links, but that's my point, right? The power of being able to choose to turn off one of your opponent's monsters as a targeted effect before you even start your turn is so important for the consistency and power going second, and so detrimental to going first, that is something that would be played in every single deck other than stun in the real game. And it doesn't really have a lot of synergy with Jack's anime persona. I'm pretty sure he did play Fiendish Chain. I assume that's why Fiendish Golem references it. But I don't remember when he played it. It's definitely not a card he played every single duel. And it's a negate. like it's a negate. That's just absurd. The cost is ridiculous. And even if you think, okay, well, You don't lose anything from your hand, but you've lost a spell or trap zone, right? So that's fair. Well, no, because after you've negated your opponent's monster effect, you can then use the first effect, pitch a card from your hand, and then send your Fiendish Chain, which has already successfully negated one of your opponent's monsters, to make Red Dragon Archfiend. So it's absurd. That's the reason why they can get away with playing only 3 non-tuners, is because they can make a synchro monster out of spells and traps, which I thought we understood at this point that it was a bad idea to allow decks that just play infinite back row. All right, so I'm going to talk about a few other things here, but that's the main thing. The main problem is that Fiendish Chain going second is too good. Second thing is that this skill makes Scarlet Security playable when Scarlet Security has never been played at all before. Now, I think this is an interesting thing. I do like the idea that you can play Scarlet Security and you just draw it with Crimson Gaia going second, then you pitch the Crimson Gaia and 1 card from your hand, you summon Red Dragon Archfiend, then you activate your Scarlet Security. Then if your opponent has any monster effects, or any spells or traps, they have to use them on a monster that you basically paid for with a card in your hand, but you still have your normal summon and you can still continue to your turn. That is a very interesting idea. The problem is that when you combine it with the Fiendish Chain, you are literally unstoppable going second. You have the ability to turn off one of your opponent's monster interactions, and you have the ability to search and wipe their whole back row before you even normal summon. Both of these things before you normal summon. It's like, it's ridiculous. That's just way too much consistency and power in the span of a skill. And the problem is, and it really makes me frustrated, I would really like the ability to play Crimson Gaia, search Scarlet, make it into Red Dragon Archfiend, and pop the opponent's back row. I would really like that as a skill, as a power, if you didn't get a monster negate on top of it. Like, I feel like we are at the point in Duel Links where people need to stop relying on traps nearly as much as they do. And I do think that making a few skills that are anti-back row would push people to rely more on hand traps. Would push people who want to play the game, who don't already have a play set of Effect Veil or a play set of DD Crow, to go get them. You know, I think that people need to collect their Drolls. You know, they put Droll in the anniversary pack, and then they gave you 10 free packs. I do think that everyone should have 3 Drolls, 3 Effect Veilers, and 3 DD Crows at this point. And I think that, and potentially 3 Ghost Mourners as well. And potentially, like, you know, we're going to get Ash Blossom soon. We're going to get other cards. You know, Nibiru is going to come out. You have to have hand traps, because hand traps are very important. So a skill that, like, punishes people for relying on traps is good, especially if that deck is powerful, because it's going to change the meta. It's going to change all the decks around it to where people are going to say, I'm getting countered too much by Scarlet Security. I'm just going to stop playing back row so much, and I'm going to rely on other things. And that is fine. That is a good thing. But if you turn off your opponent's monster effects for free, and then you also wipe their back row, then your opponent has literally nothing they can do going first to stop you from killing them. And the problem is, it's in a deck that's really, really good at OTKing if they go second. Like, this isn't Muskets. This is Red Dragon Archfiend. They will pop your whole board. They have a monster that just lightning storms you. So, ridiculous. So yeah, of course the deck is insane. All right. So now that I've ranted about, you know, the problems with it, let me talk about what needs to change. Number 1, the skill is perfectly fine except for the text, or only your opponent controls a monster. So if they do nothing else, just cut the ability to set Fiendish Chain if your opponent controls a monster. If you control Red Nova Dragon, you get Fiendish Chain. You have to make the Red Nova Dragon, whether you're going first or going second. Easy. It's still good. It's still a very powerful effect. It makes you really strong at going first, and it gives you some options when you go second. But you have to play through your opponent's turn so that your opponent's board actually matters. That's number 1. Number 2, I think that the card you control should be changed to a monster card. So I think that send 1 card from your hand and 1 monster card you control to the graveyard. Because I don't like the ability to just turn a bunch of spells and traps into into synchro monsters because it means that people don't play tuners or non-tuners, and that's a huge problem. Part of the power level of synchro monsters, part of the reason why synchro monsters are allowed to be stronger than Xyz monsters and stronger than Link monsters is they're more difficult to summon and they're bricky. And if you take that away too much, then it becomes overpowered. And you could put all the locks on the skill that you want in the world, level 5 and lower Dragon and Fiends, and then you basically instantly get locked into Dark Dragon Synchro monsters when you play your Soul Resonator. That's fine. That's all completely fine. But if you make the deck so consistently like your opponent's board does not matter, and then you just win the game because you have destroy all spells and traps, you have negate an opponent's monster effect, and then you have destroy all your opponent's attack position monsters. All in the deck, all easily accessible. It's too much. So, yeah. So send a monster you control to the graveyard to play Red Dragon Archfiend. That way you have to commit something, as opposed to just activating a spell card and passing. And then also, you have to control Red Nova Dragon to set Phoenix Chain. I think that those two changes would fix the entire thing. And it would keep the spirit of the skill. It would still be really cool. And I think that would make the deck tier 2 easily. But it would stop being so stupidly broken. And the most important thing is, it's not fun. Like, this is... I can't believe I have to say this. I stress this point anytime that I talk to a tournament player. This is a game. First and foremost, before it is a card game, before it is a video game, it is a game. It is not competitive until you make it competitive. So, for all the people who play this game, both you and your opponent should be having some level of fun. I know. I like FTKs. Hear me out. When you FTK someone, they get shocked and they laugh at it. And also, it's over stupidly quickly. This is not the same thing. This is, no matter what you do, whether you set up a monster card, whether you set up a spell or trap, whether you have a hand trap, I am going to destroy your entire board. I'm going to destroy all of your back row. I'm going to negate your monster effect. I'm going to do that all before my normal summon. That's not interaction. You are literally just saying your turn did not matter. The fact that you went first was a detriment to you because now I can attack you directly as opposed to you getting a chance to break my board. That is absurd. No. And the deck can go first just fine. That's the other problem. Like if you were going to make like a stupidly powerful blind second skill, fine, but then the deck should suck going first. Like, I think that's really what they did with Heroes, to be honest, before they made before they buffed Hero Alliance. Like, when Hero Alliance was bad, it was basically just like, if you go second, you can super poly and win the game immediately with Sunrise. Now, of course, they gave them a bunch of cards that aren't heroes so that they can play going first, but still. Anyway, that is my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. My name is Sarafi, and I was thrilled to have all of you with me.